Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय विष्णुपाद परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् आंग्रेय सभाय चरणारविंद स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीहरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रमानंदे vancha kalpatarvesya कृपा सिंधुवेव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की हम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 34. Narada's instruction in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday, Radhakant Prabhu gave to discuss the verse 33. Today we will go to 34th verse. Evam nrunam kriya yoga sarve samsruti hetava Taevatma vinasaya
तो एवात्मा विनाशाय
kalpante kalpita pare
कल्पन्ते कल्पिता परे
evam nrunam kriya yoga
एवं निर्णाम क्रिया योगा
sarve samsruti hetava
सर्वे संस्कृति हेतवः
Taevatma vinasaya
एवात्मा विनाशाय
kalpita pare
कल्पन्ते कल्पिता परे
evam
एवं
das
10
nrunam
निर्णाम
of the human being
of the human being
kriya yoga
yoga
all activities
all activities
sarve
सर्वे
everything
everything
samsruti
samsriti
material existence
material existence
etava
etava
causes
causes
te that
that
eva
eva
only
certainly
atma
atma
tree of work
free of all
nasaya
vinasaya
kalpante
alpante
become competent
become competent
kalpitaha
kalpita
dedicated
dedicated
Hàre
Hare
unto the transcendence.
unto the transcendence.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki.
He there.
Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which cause his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Please repeat. Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which cause his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Purport. Creative work which has perpetually engaged the living being is compared to the banyan tree in the Bhagavad Gita. For it is certainly very deeply rooted. As long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit of work is there, one has to continue the transmigration of the soul from one body or place to another, according to one's nature of work. The propensity for enjoyment may be turned into the desire for serving the mission of the Lord. By doing so, one's activities change into karma yoga, or the way by which one can attain spiritual perfection while engaging in the work for which he has a natural tendency. Here the word Atma indicates categories of all fruitive works. Conclusion is that when the result of all fruitive and other work is dovetailed, the service of the Lord, it will cease to generate further karma and will gradually develop into transcendental devotional service, which will not only cut off completely the root of banyan tree of work, but will also carry the performer to the lotus feet of the Lord. Summary is that one has to, first of all, seek the association of pure devotees, who not only are learned in the Vedanta Sutra, but are self-realized souls and unallied devotees of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. In that association, the neophyte devotees must surrender loving service physically and mentally without reservation. The service attitude will induce the great souls to be more favorable in bestowing their mercy, which injects the neophyte with all the transcendental qualities of pure devotees. Gradually, this is developed into a strong attachment to hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which makes him able to catch up. The constitutional position of the gross and subtle bodies, and beyond them, the knowledge of pure soul and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. After the relation is ascertained by establishment of the eternal relation, pure devotional service to the Lord begins gradually developing into perfect knowledge of the personality of Godhead beyond the purview of impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. By such Purushottam yoga, as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, one is made perfect even during the present corporeal existence. And one exhibits all the good qualities of the Lord, the highest percentage. Such is the gradual development by association of pure devotees. Chai. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschyata Desha Tarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan ki Srila Giriraj Krishna
Jai.
Raman Ji ki
Jai.
Dear devotees, the argument of Srila Narada in front of to Vyasudeva looks very simple yet very profound. His argument was, doesn't a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? Sometimes we have a disease because of eating milk product. So then you will have loose motion. But now if you take curd, then the loose motion will stop. Same milk product. One milk product caused the loose motion. Another milk product cures it. It's very profound. I don't know how many of you have internalized this. This is a very profound statement. It's all milk product. Rasgulla, gulab jamun, malai, they are milk product. And sometimes they may cause loose motion. The curd is also another milk product, but then that cures. Similarly, everything in this material world belongs to Krishna. When we separate Krishna from everything that exists here, they cause material disease. They cause material disease. Like I was just before coming to the class, I was hearing of life of Satarupa Devidasi, one of Prabhupada's disciples. She was a very, very famous model in entire Europe. And she became a devotee of Krishna. So she is narrating her experience that when she was told to chant Hàre Krishna, she was an addict, smoke addict. So because she has been smoking since she was 11-year-old. But as soon as she would go or think of the cigarette, she somehow she has accepted she must chant. So she would, can someone mute everything because I'm getting distracted. So what is happening? Then, okay. Dear devotees, kindly mute yourself so that I don't get distracted. My thought patterns are not, because I'm not actually feeling all right. So please be merciful to me. So what I was saying is, so see, before she will take a cigarette or she would think of a cigarette, she say, I have not even chanted. So let me chant first round. So as soon as she would chant first round, complete it, then she would think, now I can probably smoke. I just chanted one round. Let me chant the second round. And by the time she chants second round, she feels there is no need for cigarette today. Let me continue chanting. So she was an addict to smoking. That is me. The world is there for my enjoyment. But when you are chanting Hàre Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then you are doing for the enjoyment of Krishna. Atmendriya vancha kare. Atmendriya, bolo Atmendriya Priti vancha. Tare bole kam. Krishnendriya Priti vancha. Tare prem. So when I please Krishna's senses, immediately Krishna is in charge. So here 1 round became 2 rounds for Satrupa, and 2 rounds became 16 rounds. And cigarette is gone. It's gone, thrown into the oblivion. It's simple. Everything that exists around us. She gave another very nice example. That example I like very much. Because as a model, she was wearing a very, some probably $1 million a diamond. It was dazzling. And as a model, she has to put on such a thing because that's what is model. But because she was wearing a very costly diamond, there was a chance that she can be robbed, she can be killed. And hence, as soon as she would come to the model set, she was never allowed by anyone to go out because that is a threat to her life. And once she became Krishna conscious, she was thinking, what a hellish life I was living. What a hellish life I was living. It appeared that I was putting on a very costly diamond, but I was risking my life. I was being almost like imprisoned within the set, the studio. I cannot go out. Now I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm in the temple, I'm associating with the devotees. Devotees are very simple, they have no demand, and there is no risk in the life because they don't accrue anything for themselves. Everything is for Krishna's pleasure. So, dear devotees, please think about it. That as soon as I see anything in this world and that doesn't attract me to Krishna, so I'm not qualified to use that thing in the service to Krishna. So I should be away from that. And whatever I see in relation to Krishna, because Prabhupada is a pure devotee, he could see everything in relation to Krishna. We will not be able to see that. We will not be able to see that. And hence, we will fall victim to Maya. When we were told that we can engage everything in Krishna's service, doesn't mean that I can do it. No, it can be done, but am I qualified? Right? So, as a devotee, suppose I become a devotee, the best thing to do is to live. Like, one of the things this Mataji was telling, what she liked after becoming devotee is that everybody were sitting on the floor. Everybody was equal, and that she liked. We are all equal, and we are similarly dear to Krishna. Krishna is not partial to a devotee X or Y or Z. Krishna takes care of everyone. So these are very basic principles by which we should ordain our life. We don't need more than 6 feet by 2 feet to sleep. That's all I need. I don't need a big rooftop. Sky can be my rooftop. Why not? Okay. If you go to Goloka Vrindavan, there are not skyscrapers. Including Krishna and Radha, they spend their night inside the kunja. Kunjas are made up of creepers. There are no palatial building made up of lapis lazuli or touchstone like Chintamani stone, which are there in Vaikuntha. In Golok Vrindavan, nothing. But in Golok Vrindavan, the devotees are the happiest lords among all Vaikuntha planets. Similarly, those who have taken shelter of Krishna, They are not interested in anything that is not connected to Krishna. Yesterday we did Govardhan Parikrama. And while doing Govardhan Parikrama, some of you might have chanted with us that we chanted 2 rounds from Govind Kund. And whenever I go in the Govind Kund and sit there, I always felt the presence of Madhavendra Puri. This is the place where he, after doing the Govardhan Parikrama, sitting there and meditating on Krishna. He has finished the entire Govardhan Parikrama. He has not even, he came there and took bath in Govind Kund and was sitting there. He has not taken anything for a long, long time probably. Because he had a vow that unless someone gives him, he will not accept. So normally we cannot do this kind of vow. We should take that vow which we can fulfill. It is not a good thing that you take a vow and there are certain vows you must keep. We have taken vow in front of our spiritual master for chanting 16 rounds every day. We must keep it. We have taken a vow to follow 4 regulatory principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. That we must keep it. There are certain vows, but I'm saying that devotees take many, many vows, right? And he had a vow that he would not take anything unless he was given. And he was meditating on Krishna, and there appeared a very beautiful form, a small boy, looking dazzling, having a blackish hue color, and charming smile, curly hair. And when he looked at him, he felt very satisfied with him. But then this boy, before he could speak something, he started speaking, Baba, Baba, here is the milk for you. I know you are hungry for many days. Please drink it. And then Madhavendra Puri asked, how did you know that I am hungry? No, I don't know. These ladies came here to take water from Govind Kund, and they have been noticing that you have been sitting here for a long, long time. And because actually when this boy appeared, this is almost like sunset, and you have been sitting here. So and that's why they sent some milk, because here in this village, the villagers ensure that nobody stays in this village hungry. So they saw you are sitting here, and hence they have sent milk for you. Please take it. So Madhavendra Puri was holding that milk pot, and the boy immediately left. But he was so charmed by the beauty, the smile, the soft talk of the boy so much that immediately, his attention, suppose you are hungry, you are thirsty, somebody gives you, what do? You just gulp it. Wow, 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 right? It didn't happen that way. He's holding the pot, but his mind and everything is for that boy. Until that boy vanished in the horizon. And then Madhavendra Puri, as he drank the milk, he felt he's not drinking the milk, he's drinking the nectar. Okay. So dear devotees, when we I saw a question and suddenly I got distracted. Please. I was thinking about the question Jivinas Sandhana asked. Okay, sorry. So let me finish my Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri was a mendicant. he has no interest in this material world. He simply chanted Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He was not interested in anything. And this boy came, charmed him, and he drank the milk and was waiting the boy would come. And the boy never came. Boy never came. And as he was waiting, he dozed off. And that dozed off, same boy came and said, I am Gopal. You can imagine? Suppose in your dream Krishna comes and tells you, I am Krishna. What will happen to you? This has never happened to me. Never happened. So, neither I should feel or I should happen to me, because where is Madhavendra Puripad? And we are not equivalent to dust to in his lotus feet. So, but anyway, so the point is here that Gopal, I'm Gopal. I'm lying in the bushes nearby. Please pick me and start worshipping. And he woke up. And then early morning, he collected all the villagers and said, bring your axes, all kind of equipments to clean these bushes. And then they uncovered a beautiful, beautiful deity, which is now being worshipped as Srinath in Nadwar. And this deity was being carried by a Brahmin when Aurangzeb or Mughal emperors were destroying all our temples. Out of fear, he threw the deity in that bush and fled. Now, the deity came. So deity is a person. Many of you ask, what about the deity? Am I really worshipping a deity or to a statue? No. Deity is a person. Is a supreme person. Is not different from Krishna. So all the Brahmana threw this, it's not true. He actually kept the deity there because he thought that this is how, given the situation, he is best protected. And the same deity was looking for, who is that person who can take care of him? And Gopal said that I have been waiting for you since long. I was thinking when my devotee Madhavendra Puripad would come and take me and worship me from here. And said, you see, I am inside the bush and feeling very hot. I need proper cold bath. So immediately when devotees, villagers, they saw the Baba is right, what he has seen in the dream is right, immediately there is a great enthusiasm all around. The Brahmins came, the villagers came with the grains, vegetables, milk, and everything. And Madhavendra Puripad placed a big stone piece, flat stone piece on the top of the Govardhan, placed Gopal there. And then from the water of Govind Kund, he started bathing the deity. Of course, he used varieties of things, milk, curd, ghee, because Braj had never the shortage or scarcity of these things. The scents, oils, so very nicely. So same person was absolutely detached from this world. He was not looking at this world. Even he was not looking at this world to quench his thirst and hunger. Same person got engaged in the service of Gopal. And that is when Annakutta ceremony started. Annakutta ceremony became very famous because when the bhoga offering was made to Gopal, it is not a small plate of prasadam with a little bit of rice here, little two, three chapatis and little sabji and payasam and kheer. No. It's big bartan, big utensils of rice, mounds of rice, mounds of chapati, and dal, varieties of sabjis, varieties of milk items, everything. It was massive cooking by the local Brahmanas who were engaged by Madhavendra Puripad in cooking. And they all cooked for the deities. And Madhavendra Puripad engaged everything in Krishna's service. And every day there was an Annakutta ceremony. Every day there was an Annakutta ceremony. Can you imagine? A person who had nothing in it with him, nothing. Even he didn't make arrangement, even what will be his next lunch item or dinner item, nothing. Sometime in a week, sometime in a day, or sometime in a month, somebody will come and give him something. That is how he lived. Now he is able to offer to Krishna mounds of bhoga. And this is exactly this verse is saying. When all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which cause his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. That which is causing bondage. We eat, that causes bondage, because what we eat verily sin. Bhunjanti te togam papa, pachanti ye atma karanam. Whatever activities we do, we get bound by those very activities. But if we can engage everything in Krishna's service, what a great thing can happen to us. We can cut the root of the bondage. Harattam sansaram asaram drutataram surapate. Harattam sansaram. A devotee doesn't go and say, oh Krishna, give me a nice family, nice wife, 100 children. A devotee doesn't go and speaks like that. Harattam sansaram. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with this world. Trillions of births, and I have to take another trillions of births. I can't even take another birth. Oh Krishna, please save me. Harattam sansaram. Dhrutataram. It is not that, no. I'm doing all right, I am great Raghunath Bhatt Das, Raghunath Das. And you see, I'm a great Brahman, popular in Braj, all over the world, I'm doing all right. Don't worry. Just wait. The sansar is very nice for me. Very nice for me. No. Sansar is never nice. Never nice. And papanam vitatim aparam yadavapade. So you also take away all my sin. It is the seed of sin that is there in every cell of my body, in every aspect of my consciousness. Please still it. I'm not interested in any of this sinful activity. Aho dinanate nihita charan nishita. Anybody who can honestly pray like this, Adi Shankaracharya is saying that Lord Jagannath is going to place his lotus feet on that particular person head. Jagannath Swami, Naina Pathala. We don't pray honestly. Oh Krishna, end my samsara, cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. Take away all the sinful seed from me. 2-3 days back, Narayani Mataji took me to a doctor. And it seems this doctor can tell you by seeing your pulse. Nowadays, because of COVID, it doesn't touch you. But seeing your pulse, he can tell 5 days back you had eaten chole. You would scratch your head, did I eat chole? And you would say, 11 days back you ate samosa with potatoes, filled with potatoes. So, how he is able to say this? Because our cells have memory. Our cells have memory. That is why in Vedic culture we are restrained to interact with anyone and everyone. We don't. We only mix with devotees. Sincere devotees, not XYZ, because Krishna gives us, Narada gives us instruction. Those who are not very fixed devotee, we have to offer them obeisances in our mind, but remain away. Only those are sincere devotees we associate. And forget about karmis and others. We should not even look at them, because by looking at them, we may become very polluted. Because the memory in them is so contaminated. Even a handshake, Indian tradition is namaste. Namaste means you stay with yourself, I stay with myself, but here is my namaste. Not this handshake. You carry, he carries your karma and I carry. But at least this lockdown thing, the French president and the Israel president, they are saying, now I know when I greet someone how to do namaste, not handshake. Okay. So what is meaning of this handshake? By touching somebody's hand, you are actually carrying the other's reaction, karma. It is a fact. So the dear devotees, my life is full of sin. Amar jivana sada paperata nahi ka punyarale sa parera udvega diyachi je kata diyachi jivera klesa. Dear devotees, this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching us how to pray to Krishna. Amar jivana sada paperata. Because we are not able to see things in connection to Krishna, and hence we are constantly engaged in sinful activities. And there is no trace of punya. No trace of punya. If some punya that happens in my life, it is simply by grace of Guru and Krishna when I'm engaged by their grace. On my own, I have no ability to perform any punya. Any punya. I can't. And parera udvega diyachi je kehte. I have given only anxiety to others. Diyachi jiver klesa. And I have tortured so many living entities. So this is how you must pray to Krishna. Then we'll be conscious always of Krishna conscious activities. We should act in such a way, every cell of our body should chant Krishna's name. And I have narrated that very story of Arjuna. Arjuna was Krishna's friend externally, but is actually his best devotee. So one day they went out on some hunting expedition or something, and they came very late, very tired. So in Dwaraka, Krishna entered into his palace, telling, "Dear friend, take your bath, be fresh, and come to my house for the dinner. I'll be waiting for you." Arjun went, and he was so tired, he slept in his bed. And here Rukmini is waiting for Krishna to take dinner, and Krishna is saying, "Arjun has not come." So Rukmini said, "Okay, I'm going to call him. It's too late. It's becoming very late." So when Rukmini went, he's gone. Huh? And then Naraji came there by the will of the providence. He says, "My dear Lord, why you are not taking your dinner? It's already late. If you remain hungry, the whole world will suffer. Please take." No. Rukmini has gone to fetch Arjuna. Still he has not returned. Huh? So let me go and hurry them. Why they are delaying your dinner? So Narad also went. But he's gone and gone. What is happening? And then Satyabhama came. So when Satyabhama came, so she asked, "My dear Lord, why are you so neglected by Rukmini?" And anyway, she also went to the guest house. And what she saw was amazed. What she saw is amazed because there she saw that Arjuna is sleeping, but every pore of his body is chanting, "Krishna, Krishna, 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 Krishna," rhythmically. And Rukmini started dancing to that rhythm. She forgot that she has come to call Arjuna. And Narada reached there, seeing that situation, he felt that he must play Veena because this is the most devotionally intoxicating situation. So while Rukmini is dancing, Narada is playing on his Veena, and then Krishna also followed Satyabhama, entered inside the room, and started massaging the feet of Arjuna. So what this incident is saying, that I should be so Krishna conscious. In my breath there should be Krishna. Every pore of my body there should be Krishna. In fact, there should not be anything beyond Krishna consciousness. That should be the objective. We take vow, we perform austerities, we study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, only to ensure that we have become Krishna conscious. Because ultimately, there is only one doer, and that is Krishna. So, to end this discussion, I would like to tell all of you that, my dear friends, never ever think that if I do this, then I can serve nicely for Krishna. No. You don't imagine how you can actually serve Krishna nicely. Okay? How to serve Krishna? We should gracefully accept the advice and instruction of spiritual master and Krishna. I would end with the very important incident in Prabhupada Lila. How to follow my glorious spiritual master. So, Radha Damodar Sankirtan party was very famous, very famous. Hundreds of brahmacharis in each. There are so many Sankirtan, big bands. And they were all distributing books. But when Prabhupada came to know that, and the leader of this Sankirtan party is Tamal Krishna Goswami, the trusted lieutenant of Srila Prabhupada. But then, this particular Sankirtan party has raised a wall between Grihasthas and Brahmacharis, between woman and man, by saying, woman life is like hell, Grihastha life is like hell, we Brahmachari is the supermost. And Prabhupada was very alarmed. He immediately disbanded. He didn't disband, but it was ultimately disbanded rather than the party. He called Tamal Krishna Maharaj and said, please go to China, preach there. And it was like a thunderbolt for Tamal Krishna, because he's thinking he's the doer. And so many Sankirtan party, Sankirtan bands, he is the leader. He is the leader. And he's thinking, without me, how this show will be run? And Prabhupada said, no, don't worry. Finally, Krishna is running everything. You are not the boss, nor I am the boss. Please. And he argued, and Prabhupada had an answer. And then he retired. Next morning, Tamal Krishna Maharaj comes, offers prostrated obeisance to Prabhupada, and says, Prabhupada, I'm ready to go to China. And Prabhupada had a broad smile. And devotees say they have never seen such a wonderful, charming smile of Prabhupada. Prabhupada's smiles are very, very sweet. And they have never seen such a smile. Because finally, Tamal Krishna Maharaj surrendered to the will of Srila Prabhupada. That is how we should learn how to engage things in the service to Krishna. And that is the process by which we can be cut off from the cycles of birth, death, old age. My dear friend, please don't waste your human life. It is so rare, so rare. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Any question? Jivanesh, this particular he wrote and I got distracted speaking something. As you mentioned that if we are not see things in connection to Krishna, we should stay away from such things. Otherwise we'll fall victim to Maya. In this context, technology can be used in service to Krishna, however it also downside. We can become victim. Is it better to stay away? Yes. All of you are victim of your laptop and mobile. Many times I snatch away the laptops and mobiles of so many of you because you get distracted by bad things there. They are very dangerous. In fact, all devotees, including junior, senior, we should remain far away from all these things. In fact, Raghunath Das is here in front of me. He's sitting there. And he is very good at taking vow for whole Chaturmasya, 4 months of Chaturmasya. He's only taking Ekadashi Prasadam. When you tell him to fast from mobile, he will die. He will have a heart attack. He will have first-class heart attack. Okay? And in fact, these are the things that will degrade us yes, it will degrade us or derail us from our spiritual life. Jawari Sarma, Hare Krishna, I'm curious to know that almost in every temple of Lord Krishna, Radharani is standing with him rather than Rukmini Mata, while Rukmini Mata is incarnation of Lakshmi. Why? Now, you see, in Gaudiya Vaishnava, we are taught Radha and Krishna are the highest embodiment of the absolute truth. And Rukmini, Satyabhama, Lakshmi, everyone are expansion of Radharani. So when you see Krishna and Radha, those who are educated people, they see in Radha all other features like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Lakshmi, everything in Radha. And it is not that Rukmini is very good, is inferior, Radharani is superior. This kind of also attitude should not be there. It's a very harmful attitude. Okay? And so, yes, because we glorify Krishna, we glorify Braj Krishna. In Braj, everybody worships Sri Radha and Krishna. And we follow the mood of Brajvasis. And that is why in our temples, ISKCON temples, there are Radha and Krishna. But we have many temples, some temples where we have Rukmini Dwarkadhish temple we have also in our temple Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman. It is not that, yes, majority is Radha Krishna, but doesn't mean that we don't worship. We have Rukmini Dwarkadhish also. Next. It was explained yesterday about picture, but I could not understand clearly. Could you repeat to tell about both picture again? Okay. I didn't speak. I think Radhakant must have told. So what you see is Panchatattva. In the center, there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna. And to the right of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is your left, is Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the non-different from Balaram. And to the right of Nityananda Prabhu, you have Advaita Acharya, who is non-different from Mahavishnu or Sadasiva. And similarly, to the left of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gadadhar Pandit, who is non-different from Radharani. And then you have to the left of Gadadhar Pandit is Narada or Srivasa Thakur, and Srivasa Thakur is non-different from Narada. So what this Panchatattva say is that when we say God, if they like Srivasa represent all pure devotees. Okay. Gadadhar Pandit represents all concerts, internal potency of Krishna. Millions of Lakshmi, Radha, Satyabhama, Sita. So that is the representation of Gadadhar Pandit. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the embodiment, highest embodiment of the absolute truth. That is. And then Balaram or Nityananda Prabhu, he manifests Krishna. In 10 ways, Balaram serves Krishna. So by that mood, he teaches us how to always depend on Krishna and serve him. And Mahavishnu or Advaita Acharya, he represents the compassion. He incarnates in this material world to deliver us. He sometimes prays to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you come and deliver the fallen people. Sometimes he calls Lord Ram, you come. Sometimes he calls Krishna and says, you come. So all the incarnations that you see here, they come through him because he sends a special invitation. Because he's the master of millions and trillions of material universes. So once you understand this 5 principle, that is all is existing in this world. You understand this 5, that's all there. Everything else are hallucination. We have talked about hallucination, some time back, and these 5 things are real, and they are one. They are non-different from each other. Everything else are just hallucination. Next. Srinivas Krishna Das, can you ask Krishna to live in Vrindavan? Yes, you can ask, surely. Next. Meghna Sharma, what to do when one is asked to go in social gatherings other than devotees? It is best not to go. Now, of course, if your family marriage is there, family function is there, you are bound by that. But try to not get involved in their sinful activities. Rather, you should try your best to become to give some Krishna consciousness. If not, a minimal interaction you can do, or you try to find someone in that gathering who will be hearing, who will be interested to hear about Krishna. You have to use your intelligence. Pray to Krishna. Krishna will guide you. Piyush Saigal to everyone. Sir, even if I do my best to remain Krishna conscious during the day, sleep seems like the time when I lose control to the imagination of mind. Please guide how we can purify sleeping in detail. I have told that, to control sleep, you should have good sleep and do yoga nidra, which I have given to all of you. 15 minutes yoga nidra, 30 minutes yoga nidra. That will help you to come out of this. Sleep is the greatest devouring enemy. Always remain active. That is why one should always, if somebody is feeling, is becoming victim to the sleep, then he should accept a master and continuously be under his shelter. Chiranjit Roy, does activities done in mode of goodness also create bondage? Yes. Only Krishna conscious activities doesn't create bondage. Sir, I have a silly question, but I'm ignorant of the fact that why Tulsi is most dear to Krishna. You see that, suppose you say, I like gulab jamun. Should I ask you, why do you like gulab jamun? No, that is your taste. There is no point asking, if you like gulab jamun, your mother simply thinks how she can make a gulab jamun and make you feel happy. Just like, I always liked aloo chokha. So whenever I went home, my mother, whatever she prepares, she would make always aloo chokha because that was my favorite. Okay. So this is what is similarly, whatever Krishna likes, and we must just follow that. Don't ask that question. Why he likes it? Tulasi or Vrinda Devi is the master of Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. The master is Vrinda Devi, Tulsi Maharani. And you people don't know what is the fragrance of Tulsi in Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. Okay? Even when I was a small kid, I was studying in 2nd standard, 3rd standard, maybe 4th standard. And I used to sit with my grandfather. And in my house, they would offer a full plate of bhoga along with the Tulsi Mandir in the top. And that offering, they would make to the Lord and bring that plate. And they will give that to my grandfather. And I am as the eldest grandson, I would sit with my grandfather. I had the only privilege. So before my grandfather can pick hold of anything, I will first go grab that Tulsi Manjari along with Prasadam and put in my mouth. You know why? Because it used to smell so fragrant. Even now, I have that experience. That first bite of Tulsi Manjari with the bhoga, Prasadam, is so tasty. right? But anyway, the point, principle is Krishna's, Tulsi Maharani is Krishna's internal potency, and she gives us bhakti. Next. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj has said that we worship Krishna because Radharani worships Krishna. Can you please explain? I don't know what context it is. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we always want to become servant of servant of servant of servant of servant of servant of Radharani. Why? Because only Radharani is capable of engaging everyone in the service to Krishna. And all our acharyas, they want to be servant of servant of servant of servant of servant of Srimati Radharani. And Radharani is the personification of devotional service. Although she serves Krishna, she engages everyone how to serve Krishna. But within her heart, she always feels she has no devotion for Krishna. So anybody who is following in the footsteps of Srimati Radharani would always feel that way. Like when Bhakti Charu Maharaj was here, when we were, I think, we were in 663, right? We were in 663. He was there, and as I was serving him dinner after the lecture, then I was having some discussion. I was telling Maharaj, you all served so nicely, Srila Prabhupada. You have given everything, and we have done nothing. We have just wasted our life. Like that, I was telling. And Maharaj said, no. Maharaj, out of humility, saying, you are doing so many things. You are doing Gurukula, you are preaching here, there are so many nice devotees here, like that. But when I asked that question, I was speaking naturally. I knew that I have done nothing for Krishna. So this particular mood comes from Srimati Radharani. Jivanes, can you please elaborate more on this point? By touching hands of karmi, we carry their sins. Because their hand has cells, these cells are earning the sinful association. So your cells carried that earning of sinful association. Please understand that. Next time, don't do handshake. I have done big mistake also. Earlier I was very, very strict. I don't know. After becoming a professor at IIT Kanpur, at some point of time, I started doing handshake and all those things. These are really bizarre. I don't know. I have to agree. I have to accept I made a big mistake. Why I was doing handshake. In fact, when I was in UK, if people don't know, in UK, when we were there, that is 2008 January we went, and 2010, 2009 end we were there. And of course, I was going until 2014. But during, I think, 2009 end or something, there was a survey. In the survey, UK, it was found that in UK, 40% of people in their hand has excreta bacteria. And they have excreta bacteria in their hand. 40%. Okay. So they see, why we have to touch someone? You don't know. This Jivanes is asking, when Arjuna returned from Dwaraka after a long time. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was worried because of bad omen all around. And he was giving the reason, seeing the pale face of Arjun. Arjun is very distressed, demoralized, and everything. And one of the questions he said is that one of the reasons he argued, did you embrace a lowly woman, characterless woman? Okay, so this is another, whatever I'm saying, it is not beyond Shastra. Shastra says we should not be involved with people who are sinful. Next. Chahatu Priti, Hare Krishna, Sir, in the purport to previous verse, Srila Prabhupada writes, by is inconceivable, he can convert spirit into matter, matter into spirit. I understand how matter can be converted to spirit, but how can spirit be? Yes, yes. You can be hidden inside the stone. The stones, the soils, they have unlimited living entities in a very, very dormant state. Yes. Those who are highly sinful, finally, they are there. Yeah. Imagine once you entered as a stone, the stone has to finally mix with the soil, and there is a possibility that you can come to life by becoming a seed in a fruit of that plant, a plant that grows in that soil. It's a very, very scary situation. Sir, I heard some time back that there was one time gunfight in an ISKCON temple and devotees hid behind the altar. Gunshots were being fired instead of Prabhupada chastised devotees for not having served the deities instead of. No, I think that you heard wrong. Raghav, Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. This happened in Mahapur. And Bhakti Raghav Maharaj came to protect the deities, and that is why he has lost his leg. I offer my unlimited obeisance to Bhakti Raghav Maharaj because that is how these devotees were so dedicated to Prabhupada. I don't know whether this is, I don't know what you are asking, if that is true, but I know Bhakti Raghav Maharaj protected the deities. Sir, as in case of handshake, is touching others' feet also sinful? Yes. Yes. Particularly, we should not allow others to touch our feet. But you can touch the feet of your father and mother. Normally, we bow down and touch our head to the ground, but not that is the Vedic etiquette. We don't touch others' feet. The moment you touch your head or hand to others' feet, you are giving all your sinful reaction to that person. That means you are telling that person, go to hell. So let's not do that. Sir, within a family, many times it happens that husband, wife takes children, take each other's tested food. Is that fine, or what should be the proper etiquette? As long as this prasadam, no issue. No issue. As long as prasadam, no issue. Okay. I think it is done probably. So thank you very much for your questions, and I thank everyone for joining Bhagavatam class. I'm indebted to all of you because you are coming. That is why, even if, for example, today's situation, I would have lied down in my bed, but because you are there, I came and I spoke. So you have saved me. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Okay. Radhakandas.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
Can you tell the three Wonderful day. Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's disappearance day today. So I was thinking in the morning, beginning of the class, I will talk about them. And because I'm a rascal, I completely forgot, and you reminded me. So you deserve to speak about them. Please speak. Let everybody know about these three great personalities.
So today is the disappearance day of three great personalities: Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So the older devotees must be knowing, but someone new in this group. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 6 main followers called 6 Goswamis, third Goswamis. So Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami are 2 of them, very exalted Vaishnavas. Raghunath Das Goswami came from a very rich family. Like in today's terms, his father was a maybe billionaire, but he left that and took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was the son of Tapan Mishra, also came from very aristocratic family, Brahmana family. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is an author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So all these 3 great Vaishnavas, they left their body in the same tithi, that is today, but on different years. So on the bank of Radhakund, there's a samadhi where all these 3 exalted personalities are the samadhis at one place. It's called Teen Goswami Samadhi. So today in the Dvadashi Tithi, they all left their body. So of course we cannot, they're very, very exalted personalities. We can never think of imitating them, but we can learn from their wonderful qualities. So Raghunath Das Goswami is well known for his renunciation, absolute renunciation, and having nothing to do with, like I was giving the example of Madhavendra Puri. So he was something similar to that he had nothing to do with this world. He used to hardly eat anything. 22 hours out of 24 hours, he used to engage himself in service and chanting. So, and he did bhajan on the bank of Radhakund. And one very special thing I just tell, because so many things to tell, just 1 or 2 minutes, I'll tell one very important thing. That actually when Raghunath Das Goswami came to Radhakund, to Vrindavan, he actually thought of giving up his body because he could not bear separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once Mahaprabhu finished his pastimes, so Raghunath Das Goswami came to Vrindavan and he thought that he will jump from Govardhan and give up his body. But the other devotees there, they requested him and they told him that you are so fortunate that you stayed for such a long time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. So you please tell us his wonderful pastimes. And because of this reason, Raghunath Das Goswami changed his plan. And every day in the afternoon, he used to speak for 3 hours on Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and especially his intimate pastimes that he performed in the final days. Because Raghunath Das Goswami himself saw the pastimes. He was there with Mahaprabhu. And he was a secretary, and he was under Saru Damodar. So every day he used to recite the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And when he was reciting, one of the sincere devotees in the audience was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So later Vaishnavas requested him to write a book about Mahaprabhu's final pastimes. And that is how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote that Chaitanya Charitamrita. And when he wrote, he was 90 years old, and he told that I'm not able to see, I'm not able to write. So he said, actually, I'm not writing, it's Madan Mohan who is making me to write. So you can see how such exalted Vaishnava was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, and also Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Especially he was well known for chanting Srimad Bhagavatam in very melodious style, different verses of Bhagavatam, even discourses on Bhagavatam. He was also one very important quality. He never saw any faults in Vaishnavas. Especially mentioned that Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was very much against hearing any criticism of Vaishnavas. And he also played a crucial role in establishing the Govindji temple in Vrindavan. In fact, he is the one who inspired Man Singh that time to construct the temple of Radha Govindji, beautiful temple which is still there in Vrindavan. So in this way, these 3 exalted Vaishnavas are very dear Parshad of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So on this most auspicious day, we can pray at the lotus feet for their mercy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radhakant, for also letting our devotees know that how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was why he was requested by the Vaishnavas to write about Chaitanya Charitamrita, because he heard it directly from Raghunath Das Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami had seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Thank you so much. So thank all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarivesya kripa sindhu
Thank you very much, sir.
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo.